بالقلوب ودوائها ونور الأبصار وضيائها وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. Continuing with Riyadh al-Salihin by Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, we reached al-Hadith al-Thalith. Naam. وعن أبي عبد الله جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري رضي الله تعالى عنهما قال: كنا مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في غزاة فقال: إن بالمدينة لرجالا ما سرتم مسيرا ولا قطعتم واديا إلا كانوا معكم حبسهم المرض، وفي رواية إلا شاركوكم في الأجر. رواه مسلم ورواه البخاري عن أنس رضي الله تعالى عنه قال: رجعنا من غزوة تبوك مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال: إن أقواما خلفنا بالمدينة ما سلكنا شعبا ولا واديا إلا وهم معنا حبسهم العذر. نعم. This is the fourth hadith that we're reciting. In this hadith, which is narrated from Abu Abdullah Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu, Hazrat Jabir, very famous Sahabi, and we have benefited as an ummah immensely from Hazrat Jabir radiyallahu anhu. Those that know, he was from the Kibar Muhaddithin, narrating over 1,000 ahadith from Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. So Hazrat Jabir is very important in terms of being from the muhaddithin of the Sahaba. And he says that we were with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam in a battle. Ghazat, a ghazi is someone that goes for battle, and whilst he is alive, he is called a ghazi. And when he is honored with shahada, martyrdom, then he's called a shaheed. So every shaheed is a ghazi, but not every ghazi is a shaheed. And so he says that the Prophet ﷺ said in Medina, this is such a really, really important hadith, particularly what's happening today. He said, in Medina there are surely men, ma sirtum masira, that you didn't pass across the mountains, وَلَا قَطَعْتُمْ وَادِيًا, nor did you cross any valleys, meaning in the war, in the battle. إِلَّا كَانُوا مَعَكُمْ, except that they were with you. Ajib. You've got people that are in Medina, Rijal, in Medina, and the Prophet says, you didn't undertake any difficulty of war except they were with you. حَبَسَهُمُ الْمَرَض, what stopped them from accompanying you physically was illness. They were sick. The fact that they were sick, they couldn't accompany you, otherwise they would have accompanied you. Except they would have been with you in, and the Prophet said, إِلَّا شَارِكُوكُمْ فِي الْأَجْرِ, in one riwayah, except that they are equal to you or partake or participate in the reward with you. Like Hazrat Uthman ibn Affan, he is considered from the Ahlul Badr. But did he go to Badr? He didn't go to Badr. Why? He was taking care of his wife. Who was his wife? The daughter of Rasulullah ﷺ. And so he was very sad. And the Prophet said, no, stay behind and look after your family and you will get the reward of it. And so Sayyidina Uthman is from the Badri Sahaba, Ahlul Badr, but he didn't partake because of his niyyah. Remember, this is a chapter about intentions. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, and so Hazrat Anas, also from the muhaddithin, hadith scholars of the Sahaba, he said that we returned from the battle of Tabuk, and the Prophet ﷺ said, indeed there are people who we left behind in Medina, and we did not travel across any mountain or cut through any valley except they were with us, but an excuse prevented them. You look at the Sahabiyat, the women of the Sahaba, radiyallahu anhunna, who came to Rasulullah, he said, Ya Rasulullah, it's not fair. Look at them, yaar. Azar dari dari ta masla puchne. In our, we realize that the Sharia tells us that we can't do something. Dari dari ta, isn't it? Scared of the masail of Sharia. Just in case the Sharia makes me do something that I don't want to do. The Sahabiyat are going to Rasulullah, and they're saying, Ya Rasulullah, it's not fair. The men get to go for war and we don't. Taking care of the children, the elderly, the men naturally, physically, in general, going to be stronger, going to war with other men. So the Prophet ﷺ says to them, have you been left without the ajr of jihad? And he said, no. You say after every salah, Subhanallah 33 times, Alhamdulillah 33 times, Allahu Akbar 33 times, you get the reward of jihad. Because your niyyah, there's a riwayah about the jama'ah, you know when somebody becomes adi of praying in the mosque, and those of you that pray regularly in the mosque, you'll know this feeling. When somebody gets adi, even if it's that they only pray 1 or 2 prayers, but they don't miss those prayers normally. They always, let's say they're at work, but they always try to catch Maghrib and Isha, or they always try to catch Isha. Always they try to, if they miss that prayer, how do they feel? Like it's qaza, isn't it? They prayed the Sahaba in the masjid with the Prophet. One man got late from the Sahaba, and as he walked in, and the Sahaba walking out, and he looked at them and he realized the Jamaat is finished, he went, he took a sigh. That feeling of, straight away Hazrat Abu Bakr said to him, give me the reward of your intention and you can have my reward of the Salah. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq was obviously very learned. So the man said, of course, I get the reward of the Jama'at, 25, etc. And the Prophet said to Hazrat Abu Bakr, you robbed him. You robbed him. Why? Because that's the power of that feeling, that niyyah. Look how precious that would be with Allah Azza wa Jal. And you shoot an arrow, hitting the target is not the goal. It's firing the arrow. That's what it is. It's firing the arrow. It's the niyyah, the intention. Hadith number 5. وعن أبي يزيد معن ابن يزيد ابن الأخنس رضي الله عنهم وأبوه وجده صحابيون. Subhanallah. So look at this. Abu Yazid, Ma'an ibn Yazid. His father is a Sahabi, his grandfather is a Sahabi. This is Ghulam ibn Ghulam, Sahabi ibn Sahabi, ibn Sahabi. Sharaf in Nasab. I always say that to people. There's a sharaf. I've said this before, and I say this because a lot of born Muslims, for some reason, feel very inferior. The sharaf of being a convert is amazing. Let me tell you the sharaf of being a convert to Islam. You are upon the sunnah of the Sahaba, many of them. Many Sahaba were born into Islam as well. Hazrat Aisha, she was, I think, 4 years old, if I remember correctly, at the time of I'lan al-Nubuwwah. Sorry, or even younger. I can't remember exactly, but a lot of the Sahaba, they were the children of the Sahaba. They were born Hassanain, Karimain, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussain. So it's a sunnah to be born Muslim too. But by and large, generally the Sahaba were converts. You have a sharaf. All of your previous sins are wiped away. You have a sharaf. You actively thought about it for yourself. You have a sharaf. You have so many sharafs. It's unbelievable. May Allah be pleased with you. But you see the born Muslim also has a sharaf. And I mentioned this before, the sharaf is that Zayd says, I am a Muslim who's always been a Muslim and never had kufr. My father was a Muslim, my grandfather was a Muslim, and his father was a Muslim, and his father was a Muslim. And there is a khair and a sharaf in the nasab of Iman, up until when they first would have converted. That's why this is a fact, whether people appreciate this or not. Nasab plays a role. And I don't mean qawmiyat. Flana is Chaudhry, Flana is Raja, Flana is Patti, Flana is what. This is different. I'm talking about nasab. And the Prophet ﷺ told us to, the hudud. All the hudud punishments are there to preserve 5 maqasid of Sharia. I explained this to you before. Why did you have a strong punishment for a thief? Because one of the 5 objectives of the Sharia is to preserve wealth. Why is there a strong punishment for the adulterer and adulteress? Because one of the 5 maqasid of Sharia is protection of nasab, of lineage. Why do you get punished for tuhmat? One of the maqasid, the objectives of the Sharia is to protect irad, honor, etc. Nasab. You look at some of the greatest scholars in Islam and you will notice that they have a noble nasab. Either they will be Ahlul Bayt. If you're sat here, many people from here are from Sensei. Sayyikini. Most people are from Sensei. Many people here, not everybody, maybe. Many people. Sensei. Many people here are going to be linked to Gulhar Sharif. True or not? In some shape or form. Whether it's their father, it's a murid, or their grandfather, or their chacha, taya, some of the murid. Pir Sadiq Sahib alayhi rahma, what was his lineage? What was he? Do you know? Change murido. Shall I test you? What was the lineage of Pir Sadiq Sahib rahmatullah alayhi? His, Hazrat Abu Bakr, his Siddiqi. Pir Sadiq alayhi rahma is Siddiqi. That's his lineage. If you're Chishti here, Brother Nasirvis, right? If you're Chishti here, what is the nasab of Khwaja Mu'inuddin Chishti? Sayyid. He's a Husayni Sayyid from Ahlul Bayt. If you're a Qadri here, Dawud Samiyas, we're all inshallah Qadris. Every Sufi is a Qadri. Everyone's a Qadri. What was the lineage of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani? Hassani Hussaini Sayyid. Hassani Hussaini. Both. Ahlul Bayt. You go through the great A'imma Awliya, you will find Imam Shadhari Sayyid. Data Ali Hajwari Sayyid. Ghawth al-Wara Sayyid. Sayyid. Or they will be Siddiqi, or they will be Faruqi, or they will be Uthmani, or they will be Alawi. Or they'll be Ansari from the lineage of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. You know how many we have? Or they'll be Qurashi. Look at Azal Zalamat, Qurashi, lineage from the Sahaba. All of the great Aimmas. Mullah Shah al-Nurani, one of the great Imams of Pakistan. What was he? Siddiqi. When you start tracing back, you realize there's khair in the nasab. Khair in the nasab. That doesn't mean that somebody that does not have that nasab cannot achieve khair or be at the height of wilaya. Absolutely. Not just possible, has happened. But you can't deny that there's a sharaf in the lineage. So when someone says to me, people say to me a lot, they say, why do you honor Ahlul Bayt? Not everybody from Ahlul Bayt is your Imam. You have to do iqtida of them. They could be unfortunately sinful. You don't have to follow them, but you still have to love the blood that they carry. You still have to love their DNA, because their DNA is the DNA of Sayyidul Kainat, of your master and the master of both worlds. So you have out of honor for the Prophet ﷺ, you honor his children. Ya Rasulullah, tere nasl paak mein hai bachcha bachcha noor ka, tu hai ain noor, tera sab gharana noor ka. That's honor that they gave for Ahlul Bayt. Honor. Just because of the DNA that they had from Rasulullah. That's your great grandfather. Ala ra'si wal ayn. And I'll tell you that adab, for me personally, as someone that has nisbat to Siyal Sharif, I have never seen adab and ihtiram of Ahlul Bayt like I personally have seen with the Mashayikh of Siyal. I'll give you an example. It's like you can watch on YouTube. It happened a few years back, quite a few years back. You had Sheikh Hamiduddin Sialvi, rahmatullah alayh, passed away. He went to Bera Sharif. Bara Sharif, the madrasa, the Darul and the Khanqa, they are khulafa of them, of his father. So he's going to somebody technically lesser. He's visiting, and when he comes, because he's like the sheikh, he's the sheikh of their sheikh, you see. So they have a lot of ihtiram, they put out this big chair for him, and they all gather around, and protocol and flowers in his car. Adab. Not because it's a hukam shari'i. Adab out of adab. Respect. Respect that my sheikh, my father, was honored and guided by your father. Honor for that, respect. Our deen was rooted in adab. We lost it because of the takabbur that we inherited from the West of breaking down hierarchies, when nobody's important. Honor. Like, no adab. So Pisyal, he comes in and everyone's like, wow, look, sheikhs come. So my friend, you can ask him when he comes, Mawlana Muwashshid Iqbal, he was there. Actually, he comes sometimes to Aylesbury to visit me. And currently serving in High Wycombe. So next time he comes, he'll probably come, ask him the story. He was there. And he said, I went into the room because they let me in. Normally they don't let you in. It's packed and only sort of senior sort of students and people get in there. He goes, but they let me in. So I went in. And he said, and I see this young lad sat on the chair, and Sheikh Saab is sat on the floor by his feet, white beard, old man, and he sat at his feet. And he goes, I got shocked. I said, what's happening to this young lad? He's a student in the Darul. A student in the Darul that is an offshoot of the Sheikh's Darul. And he sat on the chair and the Sheikh sat on the feet. He goes, so I said to somebody, I said, what's happening here? And he said, oh, the Sheikh, he found out that he was from Ahlul Bayt, from the family of the Prophet ﷺ. So he put him on the chair and he sat. And you can watch the video on YouTube. And he sat, and every now and again, he just strokes his foot. And he said, we took everything from your household. Allah gave us everything because of your household. We took everything because of your grandfather. Make dua for us. And he's asking, make dua for me. Make dua for me. Make dua for me. You've got a 70-plus-year-old man with a snow white beard, with thousands of students and murideen. And he sat with a young lad with a black beard, and he's stroking his foot and he's saying, we took everything from your grandfather. Wherever we are, it's because of your grandfather. Whatever honor Allah gave us is because of your grandfather. That's adab, isn't it? That's ihsan. Recognizing the ihsan of the Prophet over you. That, Ya Rabbi, we took everything from him. If you showed a little bit of respect to his grandchildren, what are you going to lose? What are you going to lose? They're his children. Yeah, they go astray. They make mistakes. They don't live up to the ideals of their family. Sure. Still from his family. Wallahi, if I brought my children here and you grabbed my child. I remember once I bought my son when he was a tiny baby. I still remember this. I'm not saying this to encourage this, by the way. Just giving a story. I bought a baby here. I remember seeing Tayyib. Sat right here. Came out, he saw him for the first time. Our culture, you see a new baby, what do? You take out some money and give it to the child, right? No. But a simple act like that, how happy it makes you, because you think somebody loves your child because of you. Like, how happy does it make you that somebody respects or honors, shows lad, muhabbat to your child because of you? Can you imagine if the Prophet ﷺ, when he's told that so-and-so honored your grandchild because of you? How happy will it make him? هذا ديننا, rooted in adab. Always adab. And this is why Hazrat Umar, he would look at Hazrat Abbas, the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, also his foster brother, also one of his best friends, because they were similar in age. And he would say, oh Abbas, may my father and mother be sacrificed for you. This is before Hazrat Abbas had formally entered into Islam. And he said, it means more to me that you become Muslim than my own mother and father become Muslim. Why? Because of how happy it'll make Rasulullah ﷺ. Hada deen. Hada nasab is very important. So even though this was a very long tangent, but it's an important one, which is that we don't forget those things. Wallahi, we don't. You see somebody from Ahlul Bayt, you love them for the sake of their lineage, not them. We don't know what they're like. I'm not saying that. That's not between you and your Lord. You take that with your grandfather on the Day of Judgment. But with me, it's just because of that. I think, when the angels present my deeds for the day, as in the hadith Sahih, the Prophet ﷺ said, your a'mal are presented to me morning and evening. If I see good, I do hamd. If I see bad, I make istighfar. Imagine when my deeds are presented to Sayyidul Kawnayn sallallahu alayhi wasallam in his grave, and if he sees him there, that Shamsul Kareem ibn Muhammad Tamiz, يعني احترم أحدا من أهل بيتك يا رسول الله. He honored one of your grandchildren, Ya Rasulullah. Would that bring a smile to his face? It bring a smile to my face. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So lineage is important. So as a reaver, I would have fakhr that I'm a reaver. But also as someone that is born a Muslim, I have fakhr that I'm born a Muslim. Why? Because I can say, I'm ghulam ibn ghulam. I'm ghulam ibn ghulam. I am a servant of Allah and His Rasul and His deen. And so was my father, and so was my grandfather, and so was his father, and so was his father. That the najis, the najasa of shirk hasn't been in my family for God knows how many hundreds of years. Is that not a sharaf as well? That's a sharaf also. Fakhr. Fakhr in our Islam. We shall fakhr in our Aba Ajdad. Fakhr in who we are, where we came from. Fakhr in the land that gave us this color and complexion. Fakhr. We shall fakhr in our Aba Ajdad. Fakhr in the language that we used to speak, whether it was Farsi, Urdu, Pashto, Pahari. Fakhr in all of this, because all of this was linked. It was linked to our lineage, which has been a lineage of Islam for God knows how many hundreds of years. Have fakhr in it. Muslims are very proud people. They're ruhama bainahum. They're very, very merciful and gentle with each other. And they're ashidda al-kuffar. They're severe. They're severe against those that wish to cause harm to Muslims. I mean, they're very proud people. They've got a khairat. Islam. هذا هو ديننا العظيم. Did you have a question? Sharaf means honor, dignity. Sorry. Sharaf means dignity. We'll leave it for there, inshallah ta'ala. And we'll carry this on, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, tomorrow. I was hoping of... the reason why is we could read the next hadith, but the next hadith is long. And so I don't want to start something and then rush the hadith. So we'll leave it there, inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. If everybody can read recite Surah Al-Fatiha. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم تقبل منا يا رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم على حبيبك المصطفى وعلى آله وأصحابه والتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين واجعلنا منهم وفيهم يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أيد الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين اللهم خلص القدس الشريف من الكفر والشرك والنجس يا رب العالمين يا أرحم الراحمين بجاه النبي الكريم طه وياسين وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.